que nos acompanham nos Açores, em outras partes de Portugal, para aqueles que nos acompanham em várias partes do mundo de língua portuguesa, já é boa tarde. For those of you who are with us here in the United States, well, at least in the West Coast, it's good morning, good afternoon to the West Coast of the United States and Canada, and good afternoon to all of those friends who are with us from various parts of the Portuguese-speaking world. This is our continual efforts to put poets of the Portuguese-speaking world in the forefront, thanks to the magnificent work of my colleague and friend and dear poet, Rose Batista. And Rose Linda has been doing an excellent job with the Alfred Lewis reading series and with everything that she does. If you follow her on social media, you can see how active she is. On behalf of the Portuguese Beyond Borders Institute at California State University, Fresno, we thank these poets for being with us today, for continuing this tradition that we do 4 times a year. And as we've announced before, we hope to have a full anthology with these poets who have participated and those who participate today, and obviously those who will participate in our next session, which will be later on the year. We have one more session, and so we will be working on an anthology, printed and electronic as well, because a lot of people read electronically nowadays, through PBBI, through our Bruma publication series. I want to welcome, of course, first and foremost, thank Rose for all of her work, and welcome our visiting poets for this segment, which is Avelina da Silveira, Carla Felix, and Michael Spring. Ernesto Muamba from Mozambique should be here. He might be here a bit late. He's having some issues with internet issues there in that Portuguese-speaking country in Africa. He is a wonderful young poet, really emerging young poet, a wonderful voice for the Portuguese-speaking world from Africa. And so I could take about 10 to 15 minutes and talk about each one of the poets here. Some I've known longer than others, but they're all excellent. They're all excellent poets. However, I'm going to keep the interest to a very, very briefly. And so we're going to start first, as it is tradition, with reading a poem from Alfred Lewis. The Alfred Lewis bilingual reading series is dedicated. He is our patrono. He is our sponsor, let's put it that way, as far and our padrinho for all of his work. Certainly in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s in the Portuguese American community, throughout the Portuguese American and Portuguese Canadian community, I should say, he was probably the best known voice. And I'm going to ask Rose to read the poem for Alfred Lewis in Portuguese, and I'll read it in English. Before we start, we're going to end with a poem that Rose wrote in honor of Anthony Barcelos. For those of you who the name might sound familiar, Anthony wrote a novel. He has actually a second book that we hopefully will publish in the next few months, unfortunately after his death. Anthony died suddenly, had a stroke and died a few weeks later here in Sacramento. He was only 70. That may sound old for some of my students who are following us, but 73 sounds awful young to me. And so he was only 73 years old. And Anthony wrote a wonderful novel about the Portuguese American experience in California called Land of Milk and Money. And it is a wonderful novel. It is being translated now to Portuguese by Professor Antonio Ladeira from University of Texas, and will be out soon, hopefully. And we want to, of course, send our condolences to his family. As poet Sam Pereira wrote in a beautiful poem that he did also about Anthony, and at the end he said, "Anthony, até à festa." So hope, Anthony, até à festa. We will see you someday. But we miss him dearly. He was a very important person in the Portuguese American literary series. So we are dedicating this reading to him as well. Rose, Alfredo Luís.
De Alfred Lewis, ida e volta. Pedra a seguir pedra, o atalho desliza sem plano, protegido por um muro. Cascalho e barro, obra dos antigos pavorosos do mar e da salmoura. que em dias de tormenta fustigava os batatais plantados nos cerrados. Ia à escola. O sereno pingava de folha em folha, aquecido do sol. De suas casas de teia no muro, aranhas esperavam seu almoço, de mosca azul perdida no caminho. Livro, papel e tinta. Iria em breve chamar ao pé de mim gente de outrora, que um dia andou por longe conquistando povos estranhos, terras grandiosas, para um rei que vivia num palácio, ao pé de um grande rio, o rio Tejo. Depois à tarde, ao voltar a casa, tudo ia encontrar no meu atalho. Embaixo, o mar, quebrando nos penhascos, e aranhas de mãos postas à espera de mosca azul perdida no caminho.
Muito bem, vamos tentar em inglês. Back and forth, Alfred Lewis. Stone after stone, the shortcut slides without a plan, protected by a wall, gravel and mud, work of the ancient, fearsome of the sea and the brine, which on stormy days battered the potato plantations in the savannas. I was going to school. Serenity dripped from leaf to leaf, warmed by the sun. From their webbed houses on the wall, spiders waited for their lunch. Blue flies lost on the path. Book, paper, and ink. I would soon call to mind the people of yesteryear, who once wandered far and wide, conquering unknown peoples, grandiose lands, for a king who lived in a palace by a great river, the Tagus. Then, in the afternoon, when I returned home, I would find everything on my shortcut. Down below the sea, crashing on the cliffs, and spiders with folded hands waiting for a blue fly lost on the way. And from Alfred Lewis, thank you, Rose. Vamos passar para a Avelina da Silveira, que é assim que eu conheço e que conheço a poesia da Avelina há muitos anos. Bem, éramos ambos criancinhas. Portanto, já há muitos anos conheci a poesia de Avelina da Silveira através de um grande poeta açoriano, devo confessar. Meu grande amigo falecido e nunca esquecido, Emanuel Félix, que me disse: tens que ler esta rapariga. Foi assim que ele me disse: tens que ler esta rapariga aqui na Califórnia há muitos anos, acho que no ano de 1990 ou até antes disso, talvez. Portanto, Avelina, eu vou agora passar para inglês. Avelina da Silveira will be reading in both languages. She's an excellent poet who I've had the pleasure of reading, and now I'm having the great pleasure of reading her online. Most of her books are now published, not just in print on order, but also electronically. And that gives us, in the other side of the world, a unique opportunity. And she publishes in both languages. And we actually hope to have Avelina back with a one-on-one conversation during this semester with our students. I think it would be wonderful. Avelina, welcome. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you so very much for your welcome. And it has been a great pleasure to meet you, although we were absent due to my journey into Canada for 3 decades. I am back with the Portuguese language, and I am producing in Portuguese as well as in English. So you asked specifically for 3 poems, and those poems, I'm going to do the Portuguese version first, and then followed by the English version. Therefore, we're going to start in Portuguese with Lendas de Leite e Mel. Há tanto tempo que não acontece poesia. Ah, santo Deus, apartada que estou do mar. Os versos não cabem nas oficinas cinzentas, nem fazem sentido na limpeza de latrinas ou nos corredores onde as mãos não sonham. Os dias arrastam-se a olhar para o relógio na sobrevivência de um cotidiano alheio. e as poucas palavras portuguesas soam ásperas, sem sons marinheiros ou dedos soalheiros. Há tanto tempo que não acontece poesia, esfregada, fundida e quebrada, sem conchas onde me recolher e marejar, os versos não cabem em linhas vazias. Thank you. Now, I have the translation kindly done by Denise, Legends of Milk and Honey. So thank you, Denise, for the translations. Poetry hasn't happened for such a long time. Oh, dear God, separated that I am from the sea, the verses don't fit in the gray shops, and they don't make sense in the cleaning of latrines or in the corridors where hands don't dream. The days drag on, looking at the clock, in the survival of a foreign daily routine, and the few Portuguese words sound harsh without sailors' eyes and sun-drenched fingers. Poetry hasn't happened for such a long time. Scoured, melted, and broken, without shells where I can muster and swell, the verses don't fit into empty lines. Thank you. Now, do you want to do an intermission between each poem, or I just keep rolling? Okay.
Keep rolling.
So the next poem I am going to read is I inadvertently muted. Now I'm back. Insularmente homem, pedra, espuma, lava. Insularmente aqui estamos. O homem à procura de ser península na espuma salgada que o banha. A pedra arrefecida, pois lava um dia foi, queda-se como aviso aos que ele procuram fazer pontes. Insularmente humanizou-se a espera, olhos fitos num horizonte estático. A era que protege as fontes cobre também o céu de branco láctico. Insularmente aqui estamos, até que do ventre da lava rompe em voo uma ave rubra, se transforma a pedra em pontes que o homem cubra de espuma e peninsularmente dos seus dedos nasçam fontes. Thank you. And once again, with a translation from Denise, I have insularly. Insularly, man, rock, froth, lava. Insularly, we are here. Man trying to be a peninsula in the salty froth that bathes him. The cooled rock, for one day it was lava, tumbles like a warning to those wishing to turn it into bridges. Insularly, the weight humanized, eyes aimed at the static horizon. The ivy that protects the fountains also covers the sky of lactic white. Insularly, we are here, until from the lava's womb a glowing bird splits into flight. A rock becomes a bridge that then covers with froth, and peninsularly from his fingers fountains are born. The last poem is very short and one of my favorites. No meu delírio, dei-lhes nomes de pássaros, de flores e de frutos, mas eram tão somente gente petrificada no eco das horas inúteis. In my delirium, I gave them names of birds, of flowers, and of fruits, but they were only petrified people in the echo of their empty hours. This translation was done by me. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Obrigado. Thank you, Avelina. So Wonderful poem. As you said, it's short but very powerful. Thank you for all three of them. Pavlina has a poem that I really love, which is called Palavras Onde Me Perco. And it's kind of a poem of all of the three languages of, of our immigration. And I highly recommend that you consult that poem because it's a lovely poem. About the immigrants' experience. Muito obrigado, Avelina. Vamos então passar continuamos no arquipélago dos Açores, numa outra ilha, desta vez na Ilha Terceira e na terra de Nemésio, portanto, desde a Praia da Vitória, Carla Félix, Carla também com poesia publicada, em livro, em vários outros formatos também, e tem uma grande atividade cultural na cidade da Praia da Vitória, colabora muito e traz a poesia para os jornais, o que é uma coisa que já não é usual, como era, portanto, na minha juventude, pelo menos, estávamos habituados a pegar no Diário Insular, no Oceano Oriental ou em qualquer jornal e em ver de vez em quando um poema. E ela faz isso no Jornal da Praia. Bem-vinda, Carla.
Olá, boa tarde ou bom dia, conforme o local. Obrigada pelo convite. Vou partilhar então 2 poemas. Vou começar em português, depois leio em inglês. Peço desculpa por alguma palavra maldita, porque o inglês tenho praticado pouco. Búzio. A minha alma transborda de poesia. Ouço o som das palavras num búzio perdido, na areia da minha praia. Queria ser alga e dançar ao ritmo da maré, perder-me nos braços loucos das ondas. Queria ser. Já sou gota flutuante, salgada de emoções, embalo de gratidão pela doçura dos lábios que leem os versos que escrevo. Shell. My soul overflows with the poetry. I heard the sound of the words in a lost shell. In the sand of my beach, I wish I were to hide and dance to the rhythm of the tide, to lose myself in the crazy arms of the waves. I want to be. I'm ready, a floating drop, salty with emotions, packed with gratitude for the sweetness of lips that read the verse I write. Basalto, negro basalto. Vesti o meu sentir de negro basalto, nesta ausência que me dói. És pedra, em cada lembrança és pedra pilar do oceano que nos circunda. Sinto o calor do sol queimando o corpo, a saudade embalada na espuma, esconde o rosto molhado de sal. Black basalt. I dress my feelings in a black basalt, in this absence that hurts me in every memory. You are the cornerstone of the ocean that surrounds us. I feel the heat of the sun burning my body, the longing cradled in the foam that hits the face wet with the salt. Obrigada.
Muito obrigado, Carla, muito obrigado pela tua poesia, muito obrigado, obviamente, também pelo teu contributo contínuo à poesia e à cultura nos Açores, e particularmente na Ilha Terceira. Muito obrigado.
Posso deixar também o convite para enviarem poemas para a Maré de Poesia aos poetas presentes, também que são também açorianos, os que estão na diáspora. Podem partilhar os poemas para a Maré de Poesia através do e-mail maredepoesia@jornaldapraia.com. São todos bem-vindos.
Muito bem, e eu enviarei o e-mail para todos, eu e a Rose, okay? So an invitation from Carla for all of the Portuguese American poets to also do part of, as I said in Portuguese, her work as a poet, but also her work as a cultural activist, which is something I like to see in people. Cultural activists, we have political activists, we have social activists. Why not have cultural activists, people who bring poetry and who bring arts in general to the forefront of society? Just the other day, if I may, before I introduce Michael, I read an interview from a cultural activist in the Azores who said something quite interesting. He said people kind of sometimes confuse entertainment with culture. You know, and he was talking basically about how some of the municipalities throughout the Azores will invest thousands and thousands and thousands, a lot of times in, you know, some artists to come and sing at the big festas or at any other, and then they don't invest on a daily basis. The big thing is entertainment. You're just sitting there passively or drinking or whatever. Culture, you're involved in it. You know, you're involved with reading it, with listening to it, with creating with it transforming who you are. And I thought that was kind of a wonderful way to describe what cultural activist is. In this case, Carla, she brings it to the forefront of society.
All right.
Let's switch now to my good friend Michael Garcia Spring. Michael needs no introduction as well. That's actually a lazy way to say that's not to do an introduction, as people might know, but Michael indeed does not. He's well known in the Portuguese American community. He has a wonderful book of poetry that I'd love to see even publicized more, published a few years ago, Michael, now, right, by Companhia das Ilhas, translated in both languages, correct?
Yes.
It's been a couple of years now, has it not?
Yeah.
And so we'd like to see it a bit more. Maybe we could even, through these online forums and others, talk to Companhia das Ilhas and promote it here, because it's an excellent way to reach both languages. An excellent way to reach grandma who still reads Portuguese,
Right.
and the grandson or granddaughter who no longer reads Portuguese. So kudos to Michael and his translator. It's an excellent book, wonderfully translated. I think it's magnificently translated. I've read it a couple of times and I have it here. Michael, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
My pleasure. And you're going to read a couple of poems in Portuguese, I mean in English, and I'm going to read them in Portuguese. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And I'll be reading from this gorgeous anthology. Okay, first poem's called Mango at Dusk. I believed briefly I was simply made of the ocean's red and orange hues at dusk. Sticky mango sluiced my face and hands as sweet juice found my tongue. The ocean appeared fleshy. I want to spend my life with its textures and stirring currents. I tear into the mango. It is a poem I devour. Always, I'm looking for that poem, finding more of this world to love.
So, em português, Manga ao anoitecer. Acreditava brevemente que tinha sido simplesmente feito do oceano tonalidades vermelhas e laranjadas ao anoitecer. Manga pegajosa e colante, o meu rosto e as minhas mãos, enquanto o sumo doce encontrou a minha língua. O oceano parecia carnudo. Quero passar a minha vida com as suas texturas e correntes de agitação. Eu rasgo a manga. É um poema. Devoro. Estou sempre à procura desse poema. Encontrar mais deste mundo para amar.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for writing it. It's wonderful.
And the next poem's Tsunami. The boats broken from their moorings look like drunk horses trying to find their way around the docks. But the docks come undone too. As the water rose so subtly, no one seemed alarmed. Several miles of rising water still coming as boats bang against other boats and floating cars in the parking lot. And here they come, a pride of sea lions, flipping around in the water. They are thrashing the surface, bumbling over boats, tipping them over, catching a ride on the floodwaters. Today, the sinking fresh fish market, they are dunking cars along the way, barking, howling as they bounce, blubber over metal. They've waited a long time for this.
And here it is in English, I mean, in Portuguese, I should say. And here it's, and we decided to keep, it was actually a couple of friends of mine and I, you know, good friend there in the Azores as well. We decided to keep with the original Tsunami instead of, you know, giving it a different title. A lot of times it makes sense to use these words that are now become international and people can relate to it in different languages. Os barcos quebrados dos seus ancoradouros parecem cavalos bêbados a tentar encontrar o seu caminho em torno das docas. Mas as docas também são desfeitas. Enquanto a água se eleva tão subtilmente, ninguém parecia alarmado. Vários quilómetros de elevação, água ainda a chegar, enquanto os barcos batem contra outros barcos e carros flutuantes no parque de estacionamento, e aí vêm eles, um bando soberbo de leões marinhos a dar voltas na água. Estão a bater na superfície, a cambalear sobre barcos, a incliná-los, apanhando uma boleia sobre as águas inundáveis, rumo ao mercado do peixe fresco naufragado. Afundam carros ao longo do percurso, ladrando e vando à medida que saltam. Borbulhante sobre metal. Têm esperado muito tempo por isso. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
And we'll go to our last poem, which is Rose. Welcome again. We apologize, but we understand the issue with Ernesto Mwamba. We're sorry because I think all of you would have loved to meet him. He's outstanding poet and emerging poet, and really dedicated to his arts and doing a lot of great work. And it'd be actually wonderful to get him to the United States. He has a book translated into English, published by a publishing house out of Florida, and it's called Mother Africa. So for those of you watching, if you're interested, I will get you that information as well. Rose, the poem that you dedicated to our good friend Anthony Barcelos. You have it, of course, in both languages, and I think that you're going to read it in Portuguese, if I'm not mistaken, and then I will read it in English, correct?
Yes. I never said adeus para Anthony Barcelos. Se uma coisa é lógica, então ela deve existir. Mas a palavra adeus, eis um léxico que não é lógico. Por isso nunca dissestes adeus. Que preferência racional te animou a deixar para trás, em franca paz, esse sacramento de água que na exatidão é coesão e fluxo, essa terra de geometria suave e áspera, esse ar que tudo suporta e move, esse calor e frio que corre, num dia de verão da Califórnia sem sol, ausentastes de mansinho pela noite, onde no vale o pasto é calmo e os bois dormem ajoelhados ao incenso do curral, onde a madrugada tênue vira alva como leite, essa aurora manchada de vinho que nos ordenha ao levantar. Que decisão natural seguires toda essa jornada sem jamais esqueceres de nos brindar teu coerente riso. Como quem carrega aos ombros o andor de uma imagem da Santa Rainha da Vida, sortilégio do socorro seguro nesse mundo de miragens. Partistes no dia de Nossa Senhora do Caminho, quando os arcanjos bateram à tua porta com os cravos, a cruz e lança, a cana e a esponja. Não titubeastes, rendeu-lhes teu welcome. De espanto e esplendor, naquela hora, a Virgem da Paixão pôs-te a teu lado, estendendo-te a mão. Com que melodia e letras luminosas te unistes ao silêncio da necessária e lúcida viagem, a levar ao último destino teu amor, tua única bagagem. Para mim, hás de acordar sonhando num bailado alegre, a moda americana. Esse festival de verão, com os antigos na viola, o chamador amigo, gingando contigo Alfred Lewis, Race Felix, Julian Silva. A roda fecha, A roda abre, aos pares se quebram, aos pares se trocam. Mulheres ao centro, areia adiante, rola, entranceia. Ao centro, mais uma vez, saudades.
Obrigado, Rose. Vamos tentar em inglês. Por qualquer razão, aqui a última parte, a roda fecha, a roda abre, não me aparece no meu poema. Mas eu vou tentar fazer aqui, portanto, uma pausa e ler-vos, portanto, de uma forma, portanto, quase a última parte da introdução simultânea, digamos assim. Portanto, I Never Said, Anthony Barcelos, in memoriam. If something is logical, and I should just add before I start, and thanks to the wonderful work of Rose, Anthony was a math professor, so you know there's a lot of terms that she uses here. As those of you, this is especially for my students, not for the poets here, obviously, but for the students who are following. Anthony Barcelos was a fiction writer, but he was not a fiction teacher. He was not a teacher of lit. He was a mathematician. He was a math professor for over 30 years at American River College. And by the way, this is kind of fitting because just about 30 minutes ago, they started a memorial service for him right now going on here in the central San Joaquin Valley. So it's fitting. If something is logical, so it must exist. But the word Deus is not logical. What rationale, preference encouraged you to live this Sacramento of water? That in exactitude is cohesion and flow. This land of smooth and harsh geometry, this air that supports everything and moves, this heat and cold that runs on a California summer day with no sun. At nights when the valley is calm and the oxen sleep kneeling, where the dawn will appear stained with wine. You travel this journey without ever forgetting, like something bearing on his shoulders an image of the Holy Queen of Life, the secure helper of this spell in this world of mirages. You left on the day of Our Lady of the Way, when the archangels knocked with the nails, the cross and the spear, and the reed and the sponge. You didn't hesitate. In amazement, splendor, at the time, the Virgin of the Passion, she stood at your side, extending her hand. With what melody and luminous lyrics you joined the silence of the necessary and lucid journey, taking love to your last destination? For me, you will always wake up dreaming in a happy bailado in American fashion. This summer festa, with the old ones playing guitar, swinging with you, Alfred Lewis, Reis, Felix, Julian Silva. The wheels closes, the wheels open, the panes break up. The pairs change, women in the center, chain ahead, roll and roll beyond to the center once again. Saudades. So for my students' sake, the last part of the call were calls of a shamarita. Okay, so as people might, those of you who are of Portuguese background might understand that, interlaça vida, etc. So thank you so much, Rose. Thank you for all of your work. And with that, we are coming upon the end. I thank all of you who are joining us. I thank especially those writers who are on the call from British Columbia, Esmeralda Cabral, and her wonderful book. Here's a plug and a worthy plug, How to Clean the Fish. It's a wonderful read. And Natividad Ribeiro is a wonderful poet as well. And those of you who are following us also on social media outlets, one last plug, a shameless plug, but why not? So we've just received our last book, Bruma Publications. We have now two books that will be published in the next 30 days. One is a very academic book, and the other one is a collection of poetry by someone who most of you who are following us know, which is one of my favorite lady poets, such as Avelina de Silveira, and that is a poet also from the beautiful islands of the Azores, Madalena Ferrin, who I fell in love with her poetry many, many years ago. And we have 98 of her poems translated to English, and it'll be published this month in the Azores and promoted starting in September. But we just received the actual version of, and here it is, Misty Paths. It is a collection of poems by Pedro da Silveira. So Pedro Silveira has a book translated to English by the great Jorge Monteiro, Saudoso Jorge Monteiro, which is The Island and the World, A Ilha e o Mundo. These are basically poems very related to immigration. Pedro was one of our first poets, as many of you know, in the 1950s and 60s to deal with the immigration. And he himself was an immigrant in a different way because he lived in mainland Portugal. And so he dealt with some of the things. His father was a sheep herder here in the Central Valley. His uncle, his padrinho, his grandfather knew William Soroyan, which is a quite famous Armenian American writer here in the Valley who's passed away, knew his father as well. So we're very happy. It's called Misty Paths, and it's, and again, about 100 poems in English from Pedro da Silveira. We hope to continue this work. We thank all of you for being part of it. We congratulate, of course, Carla for all her work, as I said, on a daily basis in Praia. Avelina, so nice to see you, and congratulations on the wonderful book. I'm reading your book. All the three that you sent me, I'm a very undisciplined reader, so I'll go from one to another. So I'll read a poem and then go back to your novel. But wonderful work. The translation is great. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you very much.
I want to promote it as much as possible. And Michael, thank you for all your work, and hopefully continue. And who knows, maybe we'll have a second collection in bilingual by Bruma Publications. Let's work on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
do
do that. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. Thank you, Rose. Of course, I don't have to thank you. You know, I'm eternally grateful. And we, on behalf of the Portuguese Beyond Borders Institute at California State University, Fresno, thank you all for joining us. Take care, everyone, and continue loving poetry. Poetry can change the world. Thank you all very much. Obrigado a todos. Ciao, ciao.